Hello and welcome to the DASCAR Regional Pro Cup Series for our second race here at the All-Star Speedway in New Hampshire. We will get the Regional Pro Cup qualifying underway after this event by the DASCAR Lights, trying to battle for that position to get a chance at qualifying for today's event. Now, Norman Jysing won last week. Max Watson on the pole. He's one of our two new drivers that fill up our 13-car field. So, coming to the line, we're going to have 20 laps of racing on this short track. Here we go. Max Watson leads them off, the German driver, a Utica Home Track Series competitor, trying to make it big in DASCAR, but first running in this lower series at 0:46, and he's starting to pull away from the rest of the pack as they battle it out behind him. Watson leading, following lap number 1, going through the next section of the turn. Jace Adapter going to pull out a little bit from the rest of the pack, and they're going to scramble for the rest of the positions. Now, though they are running for a championship, the big thing that matters is winning the race, because you get a chance to be in the big event. Norman Jysing had that luxury last week. He was able to win at Utica Speedway, leading from flag to flag, and got his chance to try and win the main event. Unfortunately, got caught up in a spin early on, had a pretty rough finish, didn't finish in the top 20, but Jysing trying again, though he's at the back of the pack this time, not near the front like he was in races past. But Jysing, an experienced driver, makes some contact with Alex Pedro, but good save by him in that 89 Shepherd Group machine. Let's take a look a little further up in the field to someone that's a stranger to the front, Jace Adapter, who made his debut last week. He's finished that race dead last and had a difficult time of it. Right now, running in second place, trying to chase down the German driver of Max Watson. Now, Jace Adapter, we don't know too much about his background, but a small-time short-track racer, trying to make it big, trying to climb the ladder and work his way to stardom. But right now, has to bump it around down here, trying to catch up to the 0:46 to see if he can make his big break in the main event. If he can make it through the qualifier, that is. DJ Curtis, car number 52. One of the other new drivers on track today. Now, DJ Curtis, like many drivers in here, local short track racer. Not to the New Hampshire area, I don't think, but has been bumping around on these circuits, trying his best to make the show, and he's doing a pretty good job of it right now. He's 4th overall. He just needs to catch up to some of these front runners if he wants a chance, but at the current moment, passing seems to be pretty difficult. The field is pretty spread out, and there isn't much in the way of battling at the current time. Now let's take a look at another driver on track, Dion Scott, car number 64. He's currently in the back of the pack. The Australian driver, well regarded for his racing abilities, struggling today. He's more of a road course racer, and he came to this series to learn just these kind of skills, how to work it on the ovals. But right now, he's saying that car is not handling too well as he's fallen behind Norman Jysing in the 89. Dion Scott, a lot of people like that 64 car, gives kind of a retro vibe to it, reminds me of the old Elmo Langley machine. But different sponsors, of course. He's trying to bring that car up through the field. Sean Angel, car number 69, started outside pole, but has fallen all the way back to 5th place, which normally wouldn't be too bad, but in this kind of race where first place is what transfers you through, it's not something you want to see. Now he's trying to catch up to DJ Curtis, but Julian D'Artagnan Jr. starting to catch up to him and trying to make that pass in the 31 Italy, number 31. Sorry, man, I butchered that up. But Sean Angel, the Canadian, trying his best to, same thing as Dion Scott, trying to work out these ovals. And there's James Silverfox, car number 077. The Utica Home Track Series has not been kind to him so far, as he's been struggling to make these races, but he's starting to improve in this series, running 3rd on track overall. Now, he hasn't been gaining too much on Jace Adapter, but it's been ever so slightly getting closer. Maybe if he had a large event, he might be able to catch up, but he's going to have to sell for his 3rd place if he can keep it there, or if Jace Adapter can make a mistake. A little further back in the pack is Alex Pedro. He is battling with Cody Hagan in the 27, though he's made a little further ahead. Last race they were battling for 2nd. Now they're battling near the back of the pack, but these young drivers still have potential and have a chance to make it in a future event. Max Watson, though, has been undefeated in this event. No one has gone by him, and he's actually gained some ground on Jace Adapter in this final couple of laps. There we go, he finishes the race, and Max Watson is going to be going into that number 95 car in the qualifier event to try and make it into the main event. So best of luck to Max Watson if he can be one of the 5 cars to make it through the 15-car qualifier. Let's take a look at the race results for this event. Max Watson getting his first career win in the DASCAR Regional Pro Cup, DASCAR Lights. Jace Adapter in impressive second place, followed by James Silverfox. DJ Curtis in his first start. Sean Angel in 5th, followed by Julian D'Artagnan Jr., Logan York, Kate Skirvin, Cody Hagan, Alex Pedro, your top 10. The Norman Jysung and Dion Scott 12. And Dominic Cousins, we forgot to mention this, he had an issue on the start. So he was unable to even take the green flag. He went out of the event and finished in last place. Here are the point standings. Norman Jysung is your points leader. And look at this tie for second. Cody Hagan, Logan York, Julian D'Artagnan Jr., Sean Angel, and Max Watson. All tied at 15. Alex Pedro and Silver Fox are at 14. Jace Adapter 13. Curtis and Skirvin at 10. Dion Scott has 7 points, and Dominic Cousins cannot catch a break. 2 last place finishes in a row. Well, we will take a look at the next event. Now on track, we have our drivers for the qualifier event for the DASCAR Regional Pro Cup Series. Now, the top 5 are going to make it into the show, filling out the 25-car field. Now, for those worried that a lot of these drivers will be missing races every week, that will not be the case. 5 drivers making it into the race is the lowest on the schedule, and it averages about 10 drivers making it per race, so you will have your day. But Vincent Allen on the pole at the moment and in the race lead. Vincent Allen, part of the Allen Racing family, running on one of their development teams. He's trying to work his way up through the ranks and just show these drivers what he can do, and he's already pulled off to a great lead over Seth Cole, which is not something you can say often. Jake Williams is currently the car on the bubble in the 014, as he now passes Skylar Dixon, well, at least attempts to pass the 59 of Skylar Dixon. Jake Williams finished dead last at Utica Rome Speedway, getting involved in early wreck, but he's going to circumvent Skylar Dixon, and Dixon goes to the transfer spot. Prudence Littlejohn in the 50 trying to make that pass underneath in that pink number 50. We go focus on that car. Skylar Dixon trying to hold on to the position, but is going to lose it probably unless he can get a good run this outside. He's got a good run, but no, not good enough. Prudence Littlejohn is going to cut him off, and Littlejohn now in the show as Gabriel Messina in the 77 tries to make a pass. Skylar Dixon started on the outside pole and is drastically falling back. Littlejohn trying to make her second race in a row. Seth Cole, we mentioned, running in second place. A well-known driver, one of the top-tier drivers, likes running in these lower series as well. He likes the grittiness of the short-track racing. And car number 80 running well today. Now, last race did not go too well. He finished second to last. He was the driver that crashed with Jake Williams. So it's a good second chance day for him and Williams if they can keep in the top 5. They are currently splitting that number 95 car, Max Watson, who got in due to the qualifier event. But Seth Cole having a great run, though it is expected. Seth Cole is a great driver. We move a little further back to a driver he had problems with in the, the teammate of a driver he had problems with in the Utica Home Track Series, Nick Pericles. He didn't have problems with Nick Pericles per se, but Skylar Dixon, who was the teammate car. And now Pericles is battling with the Aurelio brothers, Chris and Michael, who aren't too happy with him after he made contact with Michael Aurelio. Now, there's conflicting stories on that. Nick Pericles claims he was right as Jamie DeFalo gets way low into Zachary Fitzwater. Unfortunately, they don't wreck. But all I can say right now is that the Aurelios think they're right, Pericles thinks he's right. So it's all up to people viewing it to decide. As Jamie DeFalo, the number 13, getting off track and almost going up into the bushes. Luckily he didn't, and Zachary Fitzwater doesn't have a wrecked race car. Now they're getting passed by the 09 machine. That's not Zachary Robinson, that's Alex Smith. He wrecked his car in pre-qualifying for this event and went to a backup. He doesn't have a second car at the track, so he borrowed the only other driver that had a second car, Zachary Robinson. And Jamie DeFalo gets sent loose again, and Vincent Allen gets into the back of him. And now car number 80 of Seth Cole right on his back bumper. So DeFalo, I think he might be having some problem in that number 13. That car is just not handling right. Max Watson, car number 95, won the DASCAR Lights event to get a shot at attempting this race. Now, Norman Jysung drove that car last week and was able to finish the race, but outside the top 20. So Watson having to qualify in. Now the status on this number 95 car is only locked in if a driver that drives it is locked in. So at the current moment it's not locked in because Norman Jison wasn't in the top 20. Gabriel Messina, car number 77, is running out of time, and he has to catch up to Prunes Littlejohn, who's just been ecstatic in that number 50, already catching up to Jake Williams. If she had a little more time, she might be able to make the pass. One more lap to go. Vincent Allen in the lead. He has to hold off Seth Cole. Jamie DeFelu might go a lap down, but I don't think Vincent Allen's going to attempt it, seeing how sporadic the 13 has been driving. But here we go, to the inside, Seth Cole trying to make it. Drag race, and no, not quick enough. Vincent Allen's going to win the qualifier event, and Seth Cole's going to finish second. So Allen, good job from him. He gets 5 bonus points for winning this event. So congratulations to him as he gets to attempt for more points in the main race. Let's take a look at your race results and see who qualified for the event. Vincent Allen, Seth Cole, Max Watson, Jake Williams, and Prunes Littlejohn go to the main event as Gabriel Messina, Skylar Dixon, Michael Aurelio, Ray Takita, Chris Aurelio, Ian Dutta, Nick Pericles, Zachary Fitzwater, Alex Smith, and Jamie DeFaley will have to try again in Nova Scotia. Let's go to the main event. Let's take a look at the starting grid for the main event. Now, qualifying for this event took place after the qualifier race that allowed those 5 drivers to get into the show. This was just for the time on track, and Joseph Ernesto got the pole. There are 25 cars on track today due to the pit road size. This is the shortest that it will possibly get this season. Only one of the track has 25, and that's Flat Rock. Because of this, the points purse is only 25 points instead of 35 last week. And Joseph Ernesto had the pole for this event and already off to a good start, able to hold off Seth Cole in the top lane. DASCAR President Robert Piet follows behind him on the inside, and he's going to lead the first lap of the race as Joseph Ernesto, the runner-up of last week's event, who worked his way through the field to get up there, doing well today. PJ Williams, car number 38, last week's winner, not doing so well. He qualified near the back of the pack and is trying to work his way up through the field in the early stages. He's already passed a couple of other cars like Alex Tanker and Alex Hawkins, but he's got a long ways to go. 25 cars may not seem like a big field, but on this kind of track and with this amount of time, he has nothing to lose, as this is only a 40-lap event and laps can tick by quickly. Seth Cole, car number 80, started outside pole, but has greatly fallen back as several drivers have been able to get an advantage on the inside as well. Nathan Minizuki, car number 20. Oh man, that could have been close. He saved it. He's still racing on track, but that could have been bad. Seth Cole starting to fall back in the early stages of this event. Robert Piet, car number 047, is running in second position. He is the DASCAR president. He is the head of all of these series, but that doesn't mean he doesn't like driving these cars. He's gone down into this series to pilot this machine. He's even getting a little bit of extra racing abilities. He loves the bumping and rubbing of this type of racing on these short tracks with these kind of cars. So Piet off to a good start today. Max Watson, car number 95, the German driver, qualifies way in as Jeffrey Finguy gets sent a little squirrely. So did PJ Williams, but Finguy saves it. Excellent driving in the early stages. But Max Watson made his way into this 95 car by qualifying his way in the qualifier event, but also winning the DASCAR Lights event in his first start. So some great things we can expect out of Watson. Vincent Allen, car number 01, was the winner of the qualifier event. He got 5 extra bonus points. We have some cars going off track. We'll take a look at that in a second. But Vincent Allen running 11th right now, not a bad showing. This is what happened. Nathan Minizuki gets into the back of James Shelley and crashes into him and sends him into the bushes. Now this is the second time Minizuki has been sent askew in that number 20, and the English driver of James Shelley not too happy about that contact. And that's going to put the 99 car a lap down along with Max Watson, the number 95. There was another wreck shortly after. PJ Williams is going to get into Zachary Robinson. Now that 09 car survived the qualifier event where it was piloted by Alex Smith in his attempt to make it in, but not going to do so hot today, as that car is also going to fall off the lead lap, and he is also not very happy about the contact with last week's winner. 3 wide racing through the turn, but he's going to keep it going in that 09 machine sponsored by Toyota. Joseph Ernesto still in the race lead, and he's expanding it. There's so many lap cars between him and Robert Piet. It's going to be difficult for the 047 to catch up. Onesto having a great run and lapping plenty of cars, including Paul Swanson. Robert Piet has been trying to navigate these cars. You can see him back there. He has passed a couple, but the gap between them is so huge, and he has that barrier car of Paul Swanson inhibiting him. Onesto having a great run in that number 62. Jake Williams was involved had a couple of contacts last week at Utica Speedway with Seth Cole, and that sent him out of the race, finishing last. He qualified for this event and was able to pull off a good showing at the current moment, having a great run in the top 5. Jake Williams has a prolific run in the Utica Rallycross Series. However, that was cut short due to a team disagreement. Jordan Culp, car number 5, doing well today, running in 3rd place on track in that SWAT Fitness Ford. Culp, a new driver to the Utica Home Track Series, and I believe he's relatively new to DASCAR as well. But running a great race at the moment, trying to battle with the lap car of PJ Williams. This is inhibiting him from getting toward the 07 of Robert Piet. Though Piet not having the best handling car. 2 cars off track, that's DeMarco and Bartel. And there are several other drivers that have gone a lap down, including Henry Nova. And I believe Nathan Minazuki either has caught up or has gone a lap down. There's also Alex Hawkins. Let's take a look at what happened. Prudence Littlejohn, car number 50, is what's next on our list. As the 50 car, another one of those drivers that qualified into the race, having a good showing, running up near the front of the pack, despite being quite a ways behind the 62 car of Joseph Onesto, who has lapped a good portion of the field, at least 10 drivers, as there's only about 15 cars in the lead lap. Littlejohn having a great race, trying to work her way into the top 20 so she doesn't have to go through the qualifier again. Chris Washer, car number 23, having a great effort as well, running in 5th place, losing a spot to Eric and Rage. Chris Washer also had a good run last week, sitting in 3rd place, so he has a definite chance at the points lead if he can just stay up front, though Joseph Onesto is currently putting a damper on those plans. Max Watson pulls low on track, and fortunately no contact. He almost got into the 014 of Jake Williams. Let's look back at Joseph Onesto, who is still pulling off a huge lead, as he's about an entire straightaway ahead of Robert Piet, which, though it's short in perspective to other racetracks, is still quite a race lead here. And he's trying to work his way on the number 1 of Trevor Germain and the 34 of Anthony McCurry. But Onesto saying this car is feeling fine. He's never had a better driving race car in his life. Well, since last week. And we have contact on track. Chris Washer, who was up in the top 5, and he makes some contact with Jackson Darby afterward. Let's see what happened here. Chris Washer going to get into the back of Jackson Darby. They both go off track, and that's going to cost him his top 5 position. And he's losing so many spots, and he will eventually go off the lead lap. As there comes Joseph Onesto, and he was not happy about the contact. He rubs into Jackson Darby, and that has sparked a confrontation over the radio, as Washer absolutely furious. He could have had such a great run, though I'm not sure if Darby is fully at fault. We'll have to see what the opinions of others are. But Eric and Rage, car number 42, having a great run today, passing Robert Piet in the 047, whose car has tapered off since the start of this event. Jordan Culp has worked his way in the 2nd place, but Eric and Rage passing these cars like it's nothing. He might have a chance at beating Joseph Onesto if he can catch up there quickly as the laps are winding down. But Eric and Rage impressed everyone on the road course in the Bethesda Ring in the Utica Home Track Series, trying to get more experience today for his self-owned team. And we have some contact. Nathan Minazuki again going off track, this time crashing into Trevor Germain. And Germain has had a rough race already. He's had a lot of damage that we're not sure where it came from. But Minazuki is kind of a menace out there today. A lot of drivers not happy with the 20 car. So Trevor Germain trying to keep it going. This will drastically hurt his race. Alex Hawkins has improved in these later stages. He's gotten his lap back from Joseph Onesto and has passed Jackson Darby in the process. So Alex Hawkins trying to work his way up through the field, though it's a little late in the race for that. At least he can say he finished in the lead lap, pending if anything goes wrong, like a wreck or a mechanical issue. But Hawkins, one of the many young talents in this series, making his debut. We'll have to see what his racing career is like, as Anthony McCurry is going to go off a little bit, and there's some contact between Max Watson and Jake Williams. Look at that, more contact right in front of Nathan Minizuki. He avoided that one. But Jake Williams, who had such a good run today, is going to fall back. Same with Max Watson, as they are going to get passed by Joseph Ernesto in the 62, though I think Watson might be spared. Jake Williams not too happy. He was hoping this week would go a little better for him. As Joseph Ernesto, car number 62, he isn't running as fast as he was earlier in the race, but he's going to stay in the lead, and that car is going to make it to the checkered flag. Joseph Ernesto gets his first career win in the DASCAR Regional Pro Cup Series. Congratulations to the 62 team that led flag to flag from the pole. But there was a slight incident coming to the line. Looks like Jackson Darby is going to get into the back of Alex Hawkins and spin it out on the front straightaway. Jackson Darby, several times this race, had a hard time keeping that car forward, and it's going to be an end to a disappointing day for him. Let's take a look at the race results. Joseph Ernesto, your race winner, followed by Eric and Rage, who tried catching up but just couldn't make it done. Jordan Culp in third, Robert Piet the Dutchman in fourth, followed by Seth Cole, who worked his way up to fifth, Prudence Littlejohn in sixth, Derek Pemberton, who started 21st, Jeffrey Finguy, Vincent Allen, and Alex Tanger, your top 10. McCrory, Washer, and Hawkins were your last cars in the lead lap. Swanson, Williams, Shelley, Nova, DeMarco, Minizuki, Germain, Bartel, Robinson, Darby, and Watson were all one lap off the pace. Last week's winner, PJ Williams, goes from first to last, 2 laps off the pace. Now, let's take a look at your top 20 in points and the drivers that are locked into next week's race in Nova Scotia. Joseph Ernesto is your points leader by a hefty margin over Eric and Rage, followed by Chris Washer, Anthony McCrory, Jordan Culp, Paul Swanson, Derek Pemberton, Robert Piet, last week's winner PJ Williams, and Trevor Germain in 10th. They're followed by Alex Hawkins, James Shelley, Alex Tanker, Zachary Robinson, Jeffrey Finguy, Colin Bartel, and Jackson Darby. Nathan Minizuki, Henry Nova, and Prudence Littlejohn are tied with Vincent Allen, but Vincent Allen loses on this tiebreaker since he has the lowest average finish. Next week, we're going to be heading to the Scotia Speedway in Canada, the only international race on the schedule. So, a little bit of a scenery change for these drivers. We'll have to see how they do it. There's a couple of Canadian drivers in the field, like Dominic Cousins and Sean Angel, so hopefully they can make it into the main event for their home race. We'll see you then. Thank you for watching.